Cool.
So, you just finished performing. And I want to ask, like, I guess first and foremost, do I explain the moment or the space in the moment, or do we just get into it?
I feel like let's just get into it.
Okay.
So, yeah.
I guess in that case, what inspired like the choreography? Because there's a lot of like turning and you were grabbing onto things, and I was kind of curious as to what like sort of instigates that moment.
Okay.
So could you go through like the whole process in that like choreography?
Yes. Oh, that is okay. Thought process towards the choreography. Yeah, I just need to tap on sorry. It's quite emotional and vulnerable, right? Because okay, let me go there. So now it reached a point where I was trying to navigate which way to go. It reached a point in life where I was just giving so much to people, like aiding their well-being, filling up their cup, but mine was just not getting filled. So it reached a point where, because mine was not filled, I started being mad at people whose cups are not filled because I did not have enough to feed them, and then I forgot who I am. So that is like that center point of like, you go to these different spaces and you might present yourself as another type of picture frame so that people could look at. And throughout these different picture frames and timelines and spaces you activate, what essence do you leave and receive? You understand what I mean? What is your purpose within that, and what has happened there that is either a lesson to learn that you can now walk with in your life? And usually when that happens, it starts off with you going back within. Like I'm answering this case, just let me go back to center. But to go back to center is you having to realize all of these phases you went through, all of these webs, all of these people you met, all of these connections, and where do they lead you at that? And I think we're all trying to ask ourselves, where do they lead us? But it's leading you to discovery of self, because you know yourself through different stages in life, and that's what they represented to me, and that's the portrayal I was expressing as well.
I don't know, because I was like, my next question was going to be what did the space, like, how did the hanging objects like influence your choices? But I kind of answered, but like,
okay, I think I get where you're headed with this. So you like, particularly within the performance space. Before performing or when performing?
I think let's start with before, because when you had come into the space, initially I wasn't really sure what the plan was, but like you've turned it into more, and I'd like to understand like what did you see before and then also after the performance?
No, I hear you. Oh, that's a good question. Thank you. Prior to the performance, my first interaction with the installation, it was purely what enlightened what we saw today. It really just sparked a moment within my life whereby I was webbing out into a new era. You see, going from there to here, it's like there's a part whereby all of these, you went through things, you went through seasons, you went through them all, and now you're finally at a point whereby you want to see where this discovery is leading you to your next step. And that's what happened when I first came in. I was just like, where is this my future, Daddy? Like, is this linkages? Because this is what life feels like. You're constantly trying to web yourself to the next destination. So that was the first interaction. Like literally, I was just like, who thought of this? Because I feel like you're reading my mind. Yeah, it feels like a life thread. And then now, when I was in performance, it was more rela. I mean, it's a bit real, what am I saying? It felt more heavy and intense, because now I had to really surrender to the process of accepting that this is a piece of myself that I've actually left behind. And this is a piece of myself that I've ignored and just walked past, but it's a consistent trigger. Sometimes you have to come back and be like, so many triggers, what started this? Okay, let me face you, let me get within you, and let me release you with a hum, let me release you with a dance, let me release you so that I can find my center again and go on to the next part. And that was what it was. So even like the costume and clothes, it's like we constantly try to wear different drapes. We constantly try to carry, sometimes even carry burdens of our parents, of our ancestors, things that you did not sign up for, that you can just be like, let go of this. Like, find you again. Who's you without all of this? Yeah, that's how it felt.
And then I wanted to ask about, because this is a continuation of a prior work, right?
Yeah.
And I wanted to ask, like, what does, if you could explain that prior work.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think we gave birth to it today. We've been thinking about conceiving. I think today we finally gave birth to it, and within its growth, it's bound to expand to spaces where we find the process of complete release. I think the most thing here is release, self-reflection. I think if you take a mirror, you look at yourself, do you love who you see? And if you look at your subconscious and you look at your conscious looking at yourself, do you love what you are? And dependent on the answer is what shall influence how you express yourself in life. I think the new wave of looking at life is self-identity. I don't know if you reflect on that. It's like it's self-identity. So I think its development and growth, it is going to become more like absurd expressionism. Jackson Pollock, I actually want to go through the boundaries of yin and yang.
Yeah.
I feel like we all go through scales in life whereby it's good, but there's a season where it's winter. And within that winter, did you carry enough crops during summer so that it can sustain you, or it's going to be that hard one?
Yeah.
So,
it's like, you know, we're starving, you're cold, and you don't know when the sun's coming back, but you just have to keep pushing.
Thank you. And you know this thing of, as we develop into it, I think it's reaching a point whereby I'm finally comfortable with addressing my insecurities, vulnerabilities, in ways where it's like, isn't this not a universal truth? I mean, it was Valentine, clearly there's a hate fever of consumerism and romanticism, right?
Yeah.
But like, isn't the essence of love and looking at self and that appreciation, shouldn't it not be ordained every day? And I feel like that is the world we're living in, and I love how there is a genre of males here, because I feel like that is where we're going. We go into an age whereby patriarchy is not defined by the privilege of just being male, but rather like as a human, there are sensory systems that you have that you also gotta deal with. I feel like that's the engagement I wanted to head on purposefully, but okay, maybe you're gonna ask that.
No.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm just tapping into it now, because now I'm even seeing, because like when I perform sometimes I forget what I've done, because I'm in the moment, and then I tap out and I have to reflect on what I've done. So now I'm linkaging as I go, and I'm just like remembering like the baggage there. It was a moment in time whereby I just had to center all that baggage down there and leave it, so that I could find my way out of everything, you know what I mean? And within the people you meet, sometimes, you know, you attract what you are. I swear, we also didn't meet by chance. You know, nothing I feel like in this world, nothing is a coincidence. So now, I felt like with all of these linkages of different things, it led me, how can I say this? Even like the Woolies bag getting stolen with the chinchilla and stuff, it was just like, what sign is this? Is there some things that sometimes just need to get taken away? Is there some things like within your journey, sometimes you might succeed, but maybe you might be in succession and then maybe someone dies, there's an unfortunate something that happens, like life constantly takes you up and then there's always that thing just trying to. So now I was trying to balance the scale to be like, all of these things that have just been tearing me down, take them there. That's why when I was engaging with them there, it's like, when I was like to you, find your healing, find your healing, find your healing, because we are all living in wounds that are filled with bandages and conditioning. Sometimes you don't even realize it, but sometimes take the bandage off. Let that air go through. Feel that salt, feel that pain, feel the rejuvenation come through, and then you find your healing. Now you've been through that process. It's not even easy for you now to be afraid of adventure, exploring, and experimenting, and taking a chance on the new leap of faith. So It's actually a leap of faith, I would like to call it that. So I do not know how far I can go, but I do know it's going to be mostly communicated with my multimedia. Like to work more with paint, like to work more with such concepts that are speaking on self-navigation in a space whereby my physical migration is a problem. Like in our society, migration is a thing. But like, do you ever migrate to self? In the city where, like, you even when you're in self, you're the cell phone, like, do you ever come back to yourself? Are you bored with hearing the sound of your own thoughts? Are you bored with being in solitude? I think, yeah, that's the investigation. And let's see how that goes.
I just wanted to ask, because you had switched languages a few times throughout the performance, and when you had gotten closer to the audience, you had said something, and I'm not exactly sure what you had said. Finding. Okay. And is that like, that was the, because even when you started doing it, and talking to yourself, is that just like the process of coming to that finding feeling?
Oh yes.
Yeah.
So now it is, and thank you. Oh yo. Yeah, you really mean that. Yes. So now with the interaction with them, I did say that you attract what you are. So I'm saying find your healing because I'm going through my process. So I'm projecting what I'm going through and I see its lessons and its progression and I'm like, hey, let me share it with you. So it's a consistent mirror itself. Even when you speak to somebody, it's a consistent mirror itself. Until you take a time once you have looked at yourself and you fully figured who you are, then you can look at that other person. Oh, is this who you are? Then you can get out the frame. You understand what I mean? So that's what that frame for me signified. It had no web. So it was for me to be able to get out of there and see you for who you are. Because sometimes you can't be selfish. I think it comes with greediness. But once you're self-full, then you're filled up enough to look at the other person and see how you can exist, coexist, or engage with that person. So that's what it was. So with language, yes, I spoke in tongues. Yes, there was Swahili. Yes, there was Shivenda. Yes, there was Sesotho, Setswana, Xhosa, isiZulu. Did I go Swati? I don't remember. But like, yeah, it was an amalgamation of different languages that were just capturing with me through space. Like we meet different people, we meet different languages, we hear different. And language for me goes with identity. So like if your tongue can speak it or whatever, it's some way you identify with it. We're in the city. Everyone in the city is not actually born in the city. So it's like you all come from different demarcations and when you guys meet here, it's like, you know, it's a kilometer important of Izwi, of Netswa, you know, we get to speak our own tongue and language of word. So that for me was that, it was word in its different form. And realizing that it's actually the intent behind it. I'm sure with every word, even if you understood or didn't understand, but you felt what I was saying, I don't know, did you guys feel what I was saying despite hearing the words you were here earlier on?
Yeah, so I was hearing.
You were hearing? So, Kilala.
Just like
Okay. Okay, interesting. I mean, you hear what you are.
Yeah.
That's the whole point of it either way, you know? Yeah.
No, I guess it's one language. Yeah, because I mean, I definitely hear what you're saying about this, the idea of language in the city, especially because it's like, you have to almost become a translator for yourself and for other people, and it's like, you start in English, but okay, this person wants to speak in sort of, okay, and then you're going there and you're speaking, and then you're talking, you have to like switch and become a different person. Like I agree with you on this. And I think with say the work, it's like it is talking about mapping and like finding yourself, and it's like there's this linguistic finding of oneself, and there's, or I guess yourselves. Finding paths and ways to I guess, make yourself make sense in space.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Make yourself make sense with space. It's you giving yourself the ability to be comfortable with the uncomfortable. because you're willing to adapt for your own self-evolution and not necessarily for camouflage or to fit in for some reasoning. Maybe that's a survival tactic. You never know, but you're still learning that language. You know what I mean? So, thank you for noticing that. It was, I went through different times there. It was an exploration. Is there anything else? Oh my goodness, you asked me good questions.
Anything, I guess I wanted to find out the salt, because I know it has, actually, you explain the salt, I have my interpretations of it, and I'd like to hear yours first.
Nah, I don't want mine to influence how you are receiving it.
Okay, I guess, so for me, salt, I've always understood it as being like a cleanser, and like something that it's within my church, it's used for, purifying space, purifying water in some cases. Just
purifying, nailed on.
Mm-hmm.
It's like within your ways. Like example, you might, let's say it's your lucky day, let's see if it's luck. Let's see. You go through within your life journey, you find a black card. You don't know who this is, you just find a black card, right? You take that black card and you're just like, let me go swipe with this, and like you're swiping for like food, you're swiping for fan, you're swiping until you even get a point where you start swiping for your own car, your own shoes, your own individual needs, right? Forgetting you didn't work for this, you just found it, right? And then the policeman arrests you because now it was reported and they see a time. Now, you felt lucky when you got the black card. But is it luck really because I hambana with light? There was no purification in the past. Because I'm pretty sure if there was purification, you found that black card, try to find who took it from you, and you might have gotten even a bigger reward than what you had anticipated if you did not think of lightness going with you. So that's that thing. It's like within my journey, no matter what destruction or navigation I'm trying to search for, I'm going with purity. So I know that no matter what, I will anchor back with self-purity. I cannot be tainted like that. So I'm not carrying another person's baggage. So that was the significance, like, let there be protection, because we all can go anywhere, and you're not gonna limit yourself or prohibit yourself from moving, or because I'm afraid. No, make sure there's brightness. Go, see what happens. That's what it's about.
I guess I don't really have any preferences. I'm happy that we've met on these colliding paths. We've been able to make something happen.
I'm glad. Thank you, firstly, for the welcoming us to this space. And for my impulse and intuition to just be like, human, let's rock. Let's play. And you're like, here's a playground. Let's do this. And it worked. Despite timing, despite everything happened the way it was supposed to, I believe. And I'm glad that it happened today. This was also quite a significant day for me as well, in general. It's my dad's birthday, heavily. So it's also quite a remarkable day for to channel this. So that navigation really worked for me. And I think this aids in a different kind of vibe. Should I take up the chalk? I think it brings in a new conversation. I don't know.
I think leave the chalk. Yeah.
Okay, I shall do. No, thank you very much. Thank you. Letlhonolo. You see, gifts I received, and that's exactly what happened. So thank you for also just being in a world of conscientizing. A lot of people are just afraid to conscientize themselves with what is in front, with what other tools to bring back yourself back. And thank you for creating this. For me, it's a debrief. I haven't done such interdisciplinary work since 2 years ago, so thank you. Lies, last year June. So.
No, but even so, I'm glad I could bring it forward.
And it awoke it, you know what I mean? So I'm grateful for that. Even the different garments, as you see, they're very purposeful in color.
Oh yeah, actually, because I saw there was a purple let's call it skirt.
Yeah.
I wanted to find out like the significance of each color, like to see as well.
You know, in the sort of purple garment, oh yes, so the purple garment was to signify the shamans in the Ugandan era, when we are going back in time, right? They are the storytellers, the knowledge keepers of our history, culture. So I had to just channel into them in a contemporary manner to be like, you know, they used to wear skirts because there was no this thing of gender. It was not like a thing when it came to someone who was of divine entity. Gender was not confined like that. So they were actually wearing long skirts and they would dance into it, into channel into. So that was like, that's the nuance I was resonating from that. And also just, yeah, like the gender conforming, it's like, why should we? The conditionings of self and sexuality and stuff, yeah. Okay, yeah, it's about to end.
Battery.
Okay, no, it's okay, we're almost done.
Yeah.
Okay. The black one was so dope because now, that was me being able to find myself within the darkness. It's like, sometimes you need to go dark to protect yourself from evil and to come out there from a light. Sometimes you need to be the beastful lion and beast so that you can be the sweet little lamb that you are. And you're just gonna wear white, be silky, be free, and be comfortable in spaces, even the same. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. I don't know, there's nothing else besides the divine in me, acknowledge the divine in this human, and thank you for this exploration, thank you for this. This is really where things are going through, and this is process work in a compass, still about to transfer, still about to develop into other spaces. It's about to get bigger than this. The next exploration is about to tap in, but most importantly, I hope this is not the end of secondary passenger, because a lot of people feel like secondary passengers within their own life. You know, when you feel like you're not in the driver's seat of your own life, and you just sometimes it is okay to be a passenger. Let someone drive you, but are they driving you to a space where you'll be able to be fruitful? That is the real question. So that's why it's essential to start with self first before you enter these spaces, because you're constantly projecting who you are. Sure.